Hello everybody, welcome back to the Shark Shack YouTube variety channel. Recently I've been thinking a lot about the Arkham games and how much I miss playing them and how great they were when I first played them. I still love these games, they're probably one of my favorite games of all time, and I want to discuss some of my thoughts on them. Also, I am going to include Arkham Origins. I know a lot of people don't really consider that part of the trilogy or the story or whatever. I love the game. I think it's part of it, so take that. And also, spoilers, obviously. But if you haven't played these games already, I would suggest you really do. They're really good. Up first is Arkham Asylum, and this is really the trendsetter. This is what gave us our future Arkham games, obviously, and what gave us games like Spider-Man. Unfortunately, some other games didn't take notes, but that's okay. So Arkham Asylum probably has the best atmosphere of all of the games. I think that's been said numerous times. I don't know what else new I could say. However, gameplay-wise, in my opinion, it is the weakest game because obviously the other games just come so far in the terms of combat and stealth. It's still a fun time. It's worth replaying. It is still a really good game. However, I think the other games just really made some big developments that make them more enjoyable for me personally to replay. Other than that, I don't really have a lot to say about this game. It's the game I've least played. I've 100%ed it. I got all the Riddler trophies, Arkham stuff, whatever. But still, I feel that it's just not... I've played the other ones way more. Now up next is Arkham City, and this game by far is the one I've played the most. I could beat it in 6 hours in one playthrough. I have a lot of experience with this game, and I still really do love this game. However, it's not my first pick when replaying one of these games just because I've played it so much. Coming off the heels of Arkham Asylum, City is just an improvement in every single way. The combat is better, the stealth is better, they introduce more mechanics, and the boss fights are great. I love the Clayface boss fight, or the Mr. Freeze one is obviously notorious. And it really sets the stone for the future games to come, because honestly, between Arkham City and Arkham Knight, there are changes made and improvements, but they aren't very big because Arkham City, in my opinion, really sets the stone and really sets a high bar. Also, the little fake out with Joker and Clayface, I did not see coming personally. I feel like it was a very cool addition and twist, and you don't really see it or you don't really notice it until it happens, and then retrospectively it's like, oh, that makes a lot of sense. I think that was a really cool move by Rocksteady. However, they do try to replicate this in other games and it doesn't really work. However, when it was done here, it was perfect. The gameplay is great, the story is amazing, and I just have nothing but good things to say about this game. Our next game here is a little bit controversial, and that is Arkham Origins. And now, I know it's kind of like a joke almost to say that this game is actually pretty good, it's not that bad. And obviously, compared to City and Night, it's not as great. It's still really strong, and I really do love this game. It reuses assets from City, like the map. I think half the map is from City, and it is kind of disappointing that they reuse some stuff. I think they changed it in a way, and the environment is kind of different, or the aesthetic is really different to where you don't really notice it at first until you see like a landmark, and I appreciate that. I also think the inclusion of fast travel is nice, but if you need to include fast travel, it's probably not a good thing. It is also the buggiest game to just replay, period. I have experienced crashes, freezes, all sorts of stuff. And it's unfortunate because I really do love this game. The whole Joker being Black Mask twist is kind of stupid. We know Joker was going to be in the game. We knew Black Mask was going to be in the game. But to make them the same person for that moment was kind of dumb. Other than that, the boss fights were crazy, the story was pretty good, I love the Christmas backdrop, and I really do love this game, and it's high up there for my replays. Our final game is going to be Batman Arkham Knight, and this is hands down, I don't think it's very controversial to say, it is the best game in the series. The combat is perfect, the stealth is perfect, they really just... It was honestly just polishing stuff. They added some new additions which were controversial, like the Batmobile. In my opinion, the Batmobile stuff isn't a huge big deal to me. I really enjoyed the differences. I think the races were kind of stupid. Those were kind of, the Riddler challenge races especially. Those were really dumb. But the tank combat and the actual just use of it, I didn't mind all that much. I also really love the challenge maps and the variety, how you can play different characters on those maps. Those were really cool. And the DLCs obviously have been fleshed out from previous games, and you get hours of content depending on the DLC you're playing. However, a big gripe for a lot of people is the boss fights. So you have like a tank boss fight. The Deathstroke boss fight was kind of dumb. The Arkham Knight boss fight, where you're trying to like sneak up to him, that was pretty interesting, and I did enjoy that. But other than that, there were a lot of weak boss fights outside of Season of Infamy. I really do love these games, and they really do hold a special place in my heart. Like I said, this Arkham Asylum was my first like introduction to Batman in comic books as a whole, because I didn't really read comic books. I also watched movies too, but that was more Marvel. DC's video games like Batman have really opened my eyes when I was young and really made me love the character. And I've since been a big fan ever since I played the game. It does make me sad that we probably won't see another Arkham game, at least not for a very long time. And what we do have, like the Suicide Squad game, doesn't exactly look like it's going to turn out great. But we do have other games like Spider-Man and the Guardians game, which Guardians isn't really inspired by this in my opinion, but Spider-Man definitely is. And I think it's a good thing. I think Spider-Man learns the right lessons and adds a kind of sense of identity with the swinging. Obviously, and the story is much different. But I do love both these games, and I love the influence that Arkham has had. And I just wish some games would take notes. But hands down, this is the champion, this is the beast, this is the GOAT. If I had to rank them, this is going to be kind of tough, but I would say the best being Arkham Knight, second best City, third best Origins, fourth Asylum. The only reason I'm putting Origins above Asylum is, in my opinion, it's much more fun to replay because of the simple mechanics that Origins has over Asylum. Anyway, that was my video. Just kind of pseudo-reviews, pseudo-opinions on these games. I love them, obviously, if I didn't make that obvious. And I hope that we see more games like this. I have been Shark Shack. Please like and subscribe.